Now I have to redo this intro. Okay, hello everyone. Today is a very special day. Why? Because it's going to be a year since... No, it's not. It's going to be 6 months since I posted my ranking romance book tropes video, and I had the bright idea to do this every 6 months or some type of fragment of time to see how my taste changes. Is it going to be the same? I'm going to like something, dislike something, try out a new trope. Do I hate that? Do I like that? I think it's going to be interesting. I can already tell you that some things are going to change from the last video. I was torn between doing a new template or if I should do the old one, but I'm going to do a new one with you guys right now. But I'm also going to put a picture of the old one, like the old template that I use, but what I like now. So you're just gonna get the best of both worlds. So let's start by going trope by Let's start by going through the categories. All right. So first one we're going to go through is choke. This is pretty self-explanatory. Choke is the worst tier, literally choke. Don't breathe. This trope is garbage. It should never have been created. It deserves to fucking be stomped on, ran over, doo-dooed on. I hate this trope, and I will never, ever, ever, ever read a book with this trope. Next, we have shoulder shrug. This is exactly what it sounds like yet again. I just went for straightforward this time, and that's just a meh type of trope. I can definitely see some there in here. Next trope we have is depend. This has the potential to be amazing within a book, or it can flop if not done correctly. Immediate yes. Immediate yes is I am intrigued. If this says X, Y, and Z, I'm gonna look up videos of the books on TikTok. Absolutely. I'm gonna go on Amazon and see how much it costs to get. And then the last tier, which is the best tier, you are amazing, insta buy, I love you, is Club Tropicana, drinks are free. This is a Wham song, and I love that song and the vibes. It's a very feel-good song. It's a very island vacation. I'm gonna relate that to an amazing trope, and if a trope is in this category, it is literally an instant buy. I'll look up a certain trope just so I can get books for this trope and read the book just for that. That's what that means. So let's get started. Best friend's brother. Okay, so I know in my last video I said any version of best friend's brother, brother's best friend, anything like that, anything I don't like. Unfortunately, this is gonna have to go in choke. This is gonna have to stay where it was at, where it was placed the last time, because sometimes I imagine myself in these tropes, right? And I just could not do that to my friend. Hey, I'm in love with your brother. No! And then I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. Hey, I'm in love with your brother. Babe, you're getting dropped. Absolutely. You can choke. Exactly. This is staying there. Brother's best friend. Now, in my time since the last video, I have read, not purposefully, I didn't seek this out. It came to me. I read a brother's best friend book, and I didn't hate it. I've actually read 2. That's sick. I've never would have guessed. I would have never have thought that I would put this trope anything higher than the bottom of the barrel trope. I think this is actually called growth and maturing. What changed, you ask? I just don't hate it enough for it to die. You know what I mean? It depends. I could hate it. It could be disgusting. I could be ew. Most of the time, I'm okay. This is okay. This isn't the worst. Next, enemies to lovers. Okay. This trope, similar to I said in my last video, it's been so overdone. Half the time, the enemies aren't even real enemies. They just dislike one another. Maybe they just met and they didn't have the best first impression of each other, and then now all of a sudden they're enemies. Girl, you are not enemies. But in fantasy, they're definitely enemies. Anyway, where would I put this though? At first I wanted to put it in enemies to lovers. What? At first I wanted to put it in shoulder shrug, meh. Because if it's enemies to lovers, I'm not going to jump on this. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon. But then I want to put it in it depends, because it could be good. I don't even think I can think of an enemies to lovers book that I'm yeah, I recommend. I'm going to put this in shoulder shrug because this is my favorite trope. A lot of people say this just for you to read it. Enemies to lovers. Bro, no, it's not. I'm not going to believe you. I'm not going to be tricked. And even then, I don't even like the trope that much. Fake dating. Fake dating is going to go into depends, because it really depends on the situation. What is the reason that they're fake dating? If it's something stupid and dumb and just for them to fake date, then choke. But if it's a real reason, something that actually benefits them both, something that actually like makes it make sense to why they would fake date. Immediate yes, I'm liking it, I like what I'm seeing. The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, this goes into fake dating and marriage of convenience. I'm seeing what I'm liking what I'm seeing. Fake dating and marriage of convenience, very similar. They can go hand in hand sometimes, but Wall of Winnipeg and Me, that was done perfectly because there was a reason why they should be dating, or in this case get married, because Aiden needed to stay in the country, couldn't be sent back to Canada so he can continue playing football, and Vanessa, she needed money, right? Or a place to stay. It made sense. I read that book like a year ago, Forbidden Romance. Now, I'm not sure where I put this in my last video, but I've read some forbidden romances. Honestly, the ones that I read can literally choke. Like, I don't want it to be disgusting. This is my thing. Like, the teacher-student one? Ew! No! No. I can't even think of a forbidden romance that I like. Birthday Girl, that was okay. I didn't even really like that. Didn't really like Birthday Girl. That's ex-boyfriend's dad. It was okay in the beginning, and at the end, like, it started getting this. Why is your stepson your ex-boyfriend? That's disgusting to me. Absolutely not. First Semester by QB Tyler. Teacher Student. Thought I would like it. No! I recently read Priest. Worst piece of literature I've ever read. Calling it literature is actually highly disrespectful to the... Yeah, so that was like Priest, and they can't have sex, you know, so it was him trying to resist the urge to have sex with this girl, and he did it anyways, and they did it like 20,000 times. Worst book I ever read. Yeah, so I'm just gonna put it in choke because this trope has failed me numerous times. Friends to lovers. This is always cute. I'm gonna put it depends, because sometimes they're better as friends than lovers. Like, people with me on vacation, it was so organic and natural. You can tell that they were legitimately friends and not just like lovers who just stuck to being friends because they were just scared. They were friends, and then they went into that we're friends, but like we have feelings for each other, but we're not gonna tell each other because we don't want to ruin the friendship, and we're also at other phases in our lives. And People with Me on Vacation is really good. I did enjoy that. Friends with Benefits, that is always going to be an immediate yes. There's mess, there's chaos, the mixed emotions, the confusing do you, do I, should we? Love it. Marriage of Convenience. This is always going to be top tier. I don't care. Club Tropicana drinks are free. If you want Marriage of Convenience, I can literally give it to you. Bride Test by Helen Huang. Marriage for One by Ella Mays. The Wall of Winnipeg by Mariana Zapata. Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. This is like arranged marriage, kind of. Sweet Oblivion by Daniel Laurie. Yeah, that's it, but I gave you 5 off the bat, off the dome. Neighbors. Honestly, immediate yes. I've never heard of this though. Like, I know what it means, but I never heard this has the neighbors trope. But I do have Rex, actually. Wait for Me by Mariana Zapata. Dallas and Diana. I love that book. I love that book. 1% of You by Michelle Gross. Is this a recommendation video? God dang. To Hate Adam Connor by Ella Mays. I love this book. What? I love this trope. I'm actually realizing that. Let me put that in my notes to look up neighbor trope. Roommates. You know, I've only read one book with this trope, Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood, and I really liked it. And I'm planning on reading The Roommate and The American Roommate Experiment. The one book that I did read, I loved it, but it's to be determined because I don't really have much to go off of. I only have one book in my arsenal that I've read. Maybe 6 months later, I'll love this. Who knows? Second Chance. That's always going to be up there. I don't care. There's just something about it. I love when they just have a past with each other. 7 Days in June. Before We Were Strangers. I haven't read that yet, but I know it's Second Chance. Guys, I can't think of any more Rex, but I love Second Chance. Single Parent. I'm going to put depends because I don't really gravitate towards this. If it has it, I'm just like, okay. Why did I say it like that? But I'm never looking for a single parent romance. Workplace romance. I've only read, I think, one, The Spanish Love Deception. And I liked The Spanish Love Deception. But I'm just gonna put this in shoulder shrug because I just don't have any feelings towards it, you know what I mean? If it says workplace romance, okay. Better have some layers to it. Grumpy Sunshine. I think I'm also gonna put this again. Like, this has been just so overused. Not saying it's inherently bad or anything, but you just hear enemies to lovers, Grumpy Sunshine all the time, and it's just like the same thing. But yeah, it can be really good sometimes, which you might be like, well, why don't you put it in depends? Because I just feel very just meh towards this trope. Love triangle. This will always choke. Guys, I can do 20 of these videos. Love triangle is always going to be in the bottom tier. I promise. Love triangles are so bad. I will completely avoid a book if it has a love triangle in it. I want to read Legendborn so bad, but I heard there's a love triangle. Babe, no. I'm not doing that. And I'm not going to read a book that I know I'm not going to like. And maybe you know what? Actually, maybe I'll read it and see what happens. But no, I don't like this. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Meh. The first book was good. I hated the rest. What else sucked? I don't like this because there's always just one that you know is going to win. Win. Okay, that's not. There's always one that you know that the main character is going to choose. And even like, who cares who they're going to choose? Someone's always going to get hurt, and I don't like that. Inheritance games, I was a Grayson stan. Spoiler alert, what the fuck? Both characters always start out great, right? That's what makes you be like, who's she gonna choose? Oh my god, I like him for this reason, I like him for that reason. They're both good people, right? Until maybe the second or third book, one of the characters completely changes. It's a complete 360. You're like, is this a brand new character with the same name? Because I don't even recognize this person anymore. Like, where did you come from? Because why are you completely changing? And why are you actually the worst person ever created? Why are you actually the worst person in this book right now? Are you the villain? Because what happened there? What happened there? And they do that so then you are forced to choose the better one. In reality, there was a better one. The one that I was rooting for. And if you were just gonna make this person quote unquote win, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Like, why are you wasting all this paper for unnecessary drama and for me to get hurt? I hate this. Anyway, forced proximity. This is always going to go here. This is very similar to roommates, maybe even neighbors, but I just love the forced proximity because it forces them to be together, talk, and level up the relationship. No, but this also goes in hand with fake dating. That's nice. You know, they're fake dating, so now they have to live with each other. Marriage of convenience. Babe, you're married, you gotta live in the same house. Forced proximity. Neighbors. You're right next to each other. Roommates, you're living in the same house. Insta-love. Choke. I don't have to say anything else with this, honestly. If it's a novel, if it's like 300 pages plus, and it's insta-love, why am I reading this? I should have just read a novella then. Cut this down 200 pages, and then insta-love, okay. 300 page book? Insta-love? No. Absolutely not. Pregnancy. I'm going to be an immediate yes. If she's pregnant, she somehow gets pregnant by the guy, I'm going to love it. I don't know why. Heartless King. I didn't like that. But I did love The Goal, and I actually think that's it. The Goal was amazing. Heartless King by Maya someone. Can't even remember her name. Garbage. Read The Goal by L. Kennedy. Slow burn. This is always going to take the cake. This is always going to butter my toast. This is always going to hit where it needs to hit. Ella Mays does it great. Marina Zapata does it amazingly great. This gives times for the chemistry to develop, the friendship to blossom, the tension to arise. There's nothing wrong with this trope. Soulmates. I'm gonna say it depends how this is written, I guess. I don't know. If they keep coming back to each other? No. I'm gonna put this in immediate yes. If they're soulmates and, like, let's say the characters are childhood friends. They're going through life. Life is going to push them in different directions, right? But they just keep finding each other. Whether that's, like, on a platonic level, whether it's romantic level, somewhere in the middle, back to platonic, back to strangers, then they see each other again, they're like platonic, then they're lovers, they just keep coming back to each other. They're like with other people, there's just something connecting them at the hip. Age gap. See, I know I put this pretty high on my last one, but the ones that I've read, I'm gonna put this in shoulder shrug. If it has age gap now, I'm not immediately drawn to it. But if it's subtle and it's not the entire book, then I don't mind it. Arranged marriage. I'm ready for the flames. I'm ready for the fire. I love arranged marriage. There's just something about these two people. And this is usually done in Mafia, and that's where I like it in. Actually, I'm surprised that Mafia isn't on here, and that's actually like a punch in the face for me. Like, why isn't Mafia on here? Obsessed boy. Immediate yes. Who just doesn't want to read about that? Obsessed girl, I'm gonna put depends. You know why I like obsessed boy more than obsessed girl? Because girls are, like, in the media are shown to be just so obsessive and boy crazy. No, I want the boys to be girl crazy. Yeah, death trope. Immediate yes. I love emotional romances more than anything. And what's more emotional than the main love interest dying? Y'all, Timestamps by K.L. Craig. I was in shambles. Do I have to read this in moderation? Absolutely. I cannot read them back to back. I cannot read them in the same month, actually. I can't even read them every month. I can read one like every 3 months. That was a lot of talking. Anyway, this is my chart. Very cute. I don't think it's that different from my previous one, and I would actually love to see what my previous one looks like. There are so many more tropes. I'm gonna speed through the old one that I did, compare it to the one in the video. Alright, so this is my updated list from the last video. Why is that so hard for me to explain? Alright, so let me assess the situation. In the top tier, we have forced proximity. Wait, where's arranged marriage? Age gap. The fuck? Alright guys, I'm gonna do this really quick again. I'm just gonna keep it like this because I just can't do this anymore. Alright guys, so I just redid it again. Let's compare. So at the top, so forced proximity is the same, mafia is the same, arranged marriage is the same. Added on here is childhood friends to lovers, right person not enough time, and friends with benefits to lovers. Interesting. Actually, I might move this one down here. So, oops. The fuck did that happen? How do I? Y'all, this video's a fucking mess. How do I undo the shit that I just did? I really want to get to like the bottom tier ones because there's a lot more. So, teachers, what just happened? Teacher student was in Little Miss Average. That's like the 3rd tier. Now it went to the bottom tier. Okay, I can see that. Bully was in the 4th tier. Now it's in the garbage tier. Amnesia is the same. Runaway Bride moved into no, because it's just like, what the fuck? And then Love Triangle, still the same. Forbidden Love. Where's Forbidden Love on here? Forbidden Love was in the 3rd tier, and now it's in the now it's in the 5th. That is sick. And then Love at First Sight is the same. Where was Age Gap? I put Age Gap in the 2nd tier and now it's in the 4th. Brother's Best Friend was in the bottom tier and now it's in the 3rd. Also, sports romance is in the top tier here. It's in the 3rd now. Do I want to explain why? I feel like they're getting overused. It's the same way I feel about Enemies Lovers, Grumpy Sunshine, and now sports romance. Every single book is like a hockey romance, and you're not even doing it right. And I think everything else is pretty consistent, unless I'm missing something. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. As you can see, tastes change. You read more books. Your taste develops over time. What you like isn't the same thing you liked 6 months ago, as we can clearly see. I would have never been like, I'm alright with a brother's best friend trope 6 months ago, but now I'm like, that's fine. It's crazy how things change. Some things that you think you would never hate, turns out now you're indifferent towards it. You don't hate it nor like it that much. So I hope this puts some things in perspective, and you guys should do that too. I think this is really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time with a new one.